gentlemen, welcome back. My name is Bernard Olo. I've been taking you through a 7-day episode. The basis being my second book, which is Succeeding in Campus, the 21st Century Lessons. I also like to call this book Acing Campus and Zooming the Marketplace. I strongly believe that each and every single one of us should be able to master the art of personal responsibility even in our college years. My basis is that you don't have to drop out of college to become successful, but you may need to drop out of limited mindsets. In the previous episode, which you can find from my Facebook page and even the YouTube channel, we were engaged in the subtopic, the gem of youth. And I demonstrated to you why I strongly do believe that this is the most important area and era in the life of our young people, that if they begin to exploit, they can move their lives and our nations to a greater prosperity. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm introducing you to episode 4. And in this episode, I'm going to talk about something very fundamental. And this is goal setting. I know in a number of areas, people have simply dismissed goal setting as though it is a pet subject of motivational speakers. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to challenge that notion and begin by quoting this very quote from Al Nightingale. Al Nightingale said that people with goals succeed because they know where they are going. People with goals succeed because they know where they're going. And as far as I'm concerned, goal setting is the one thing that has the greatest bearing as to the kind of life that every single one of us arrive at. Most of the time, we tend to set goals out of our experiences because humans, we like to think with the box or within the context of the box. In this book, ladies and gentlemen, I challenge us to begin to think and to set goals beyond our experience. I am elated in the current generation because you're not limited like we were. Growing in the village, it was very difficult to see and to have an experience of people who have already achieved at what you want to achieve. But that is no longer the case for you. You can be able to have a look at the life of anyone who is succeeding in anything you want to become. Whether you want to become a successful photographer, you can easily Google those who have been successful and what they are paid and what kind of job or things do they do. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to begin by challenging us to start thinking about those things that we aspire for, those things that make our hearts throb, those things that we want to do in our lives, and begin to set goals that will be able to allow us to achieve those things. I strongly believe that in life there are two types of forces. The first force is the one that pulls us forward, and this one pulls us because of the goals that we've set for ourselves. But the other thing that is a possibility in life is to be drawn backwards, because man never stands still. Life never stands still, and we can be drawn back to the past failures. I have learned and realized that the best pull that we can ever have in life is the pull of the future. And that can only happen when you have set goals and you made the future interesting. There are two ways to live our lives, and particularly with regard to how the future is concerned, or as far as the future is concerned. One way is to live the future with apprehension, being apprehensive, wondering what the future holds for you. But there's a better way also to live the future, and that is to design it. And goal setting is what allows us to design our future. If we don't do that, we are likely to fall into the temptation of being nudged by the immediate, the actions and the things that are happening around us. And many people have been distracted by these happenings. But it would be best if we begin to set goals and begin to pursue them. Let me give you just two main reasons why it is important for us to set goals. The first one is that goal setting in your life will begin to draw the resources that you need to be able to become successful. Because of the nature of this episode, I will not go into the justification why goal setting works. There is evidence in psychology, in personal development circles, that goal setting really do work. And one of the reasons why goal setting work is because it helps to draw those resources that you need to become successful. The second reason why it's important for you and I to set goals is what I like to say, or I would like to call, that goal setting also is important because it allows you to become the most dominant pool in your life. And there is nothing as good as waking up in the morning, going to bed in the night, knowing for sure that you're working towards that thing which you desire for your life, and especially as a young people or as young people. Let me give you just a tidbit about goal setting. Goal setting is not mystical as a lot of people think. It is not something that is just mystical and strange and mysterious. Not at all. Goal setting is very simple. And here are the 5 questions for any young person who wants to set goal to be able to consider. The first thing is simple. What would you like to do? A very simple but fundamental question. What would you like to do? Would you like to swim? Would you like to climb Mount Kenya? Would you like to earn a degree? Would you like to get employed? Begin a business? What would you like to do? The first question. And you can answer that as much as you want, giving all the list as long as you want. The second thing that we must ask ourselves is, what would you like to be? What would you like to be? Would you like to become a soccer player, a renowned musician, someone who is dedicated or has dedicated their life to service of humanity? Would you like to become a lawyer? Would you like to become a doctor? Would you even like to become a food scientist like myself? These are questions that one has to answer in goal setting. The next question is this one. What would you like to have? A big car, a beautiful house, beautiful wife? What is it that you'd like to have? These are things that you need to list early on in your life because these things are going to be important. The next thing is, where would you like to go? Would you like to visit the Seychelles? Would you like to go to South Africa, visit Johannesburg, or even walk by the seashore in Durban, or even at Queen Elizabeth Port? Some of the most fascinating scenes that you'll ever get to. Where is the place you'd like to be? This is a question that a young person has to ask. And you list that as well as part of your goal. The last thing is, what would you like to see? Would you like to see where Jesus was born? Or would you like to see the source of River Nile? Would you like to see the Grand Canyon in the United States? Or you'd like to see the Mara here in Kenya? Kenya's beautiful sceneries that you may want to see. These are things that we must begin to list down as part of our goal setting. And the final question, ladies and gentlemen, when you've done all this, is to simply ask yourself, by when? By when would you like to see the things you'd like to see? By when would you like to become the person that you've mentioned you want to become? By when would you like to do the things that you've said you want to do? Finally, and this is most important in goal setting, 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 9, also Isaiah chapter 64 and verse 4. The Bible simply says that God promises us that there is more than we can begin to ask, we can begin to imagine, and neither has it entered the mind of man. So even in your goal setting journey, I want you to leave that room for the possibility that God has more. But you must start with answering these questions honestly from what God has revealed to you, and hopefully leaving a room for God to continue to ensure that you may be able to exploit those things that God is presenting before you as part of your goal setting agenda. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, let me summarize this by speaking or quoting this from Zig Ziglar. Zig Ziglar simply said that what you get by achieving your goals is not as important as you become when you achieve your goals. Jim Rohn would say this another way. He said that you always set goals, or you need to set goals that would make you to become someone great. Always set goals for what they would make you to get them or to achieve them, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, remember I've been taking you through a 7-day episode journey. The basis being my second book, Succeeding in Campus and in the Marketplace, the 21st Century Lessons, Acing Campus and Zooming the Marketplace. I strongly do believe that you don't have to drop out of college to become successful in life, but you may have to drop out of limiting mindsets. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, God bless you. You take the time to subscribe to my YouTube channel, reach out to me on Facebook and other platforms, including my website, which is Catalyst Beneficent, and I know that we will be blessed together. Until next time, thank you and God bless you.